My name is Aditi and I'm the mechatronics head for the Young Money Gang, which is our ME2110 team. One of my other teammates, Luca, helped me quite a bit with the coding, as well as he was my help for the machining as well.
I'm Luca Malashkhia, second year student at Georgia Tech, and my job in this team was to work as an assistant in post-engineering systems and in mechatronics team.
My name is Kyungin Lee, and I'm a junior at Georgia Tech, and I'm a head engineer on this group.
My name is Uwezo Akili Full. I'm the second. I am I'm a freshman slash junior at Tech, and I am the representative and the assistant engineer for this project.
So there were 5 tasks that we had to accomplish. Setting the flag at the top of the mountain ridge, clearing away tennis balls, collecting rocks, knocking off astronauts and rovers, and depositing spacecraft. And we accomplished 4 of those tasks. We don't have a subsystem for clearing radioactive material, but I think that having that would have made our other subsystems weaker. So it's whatever we did pretty well.
When it comes to alternative designs, most of the designs weren't used because of the height requirement and the measurements given within the boxing requirements. Although these designs tackled and handled all the other objectives, if they couldn't fit within the box, they couldn't be used. In order to decide on our final design, we used the 3rd level evaluation matrix to decipher which functions worked better within certain alternative designs.
So going into the competition, we were seeded 58 in the qualifying round, and that was because we made our rock collector subsystem dependent on the flag and spacecraft subsystem, and because of that, when one failed, everything else failed. So basically, out of the 3 rounds in the qualifying competition, 2 of the rounds all our subsystems failed, and the 3rd round we got DQ'd because our machine did not fit inside the box.
In the qualifying competition, actually we did not really great because one of the reasons is our mechanism. The rock collector mechanism is stuck on the door slider platform, so that made our entire systems not worked. So actually we got a 58 seed from that qualifying competition.
The qualifying competition, I felt like we didn't do our best. Before that, we had subsystem competitions, and for the rock collector arm, we got a 90, which was the best in our section G, but it wasn't the best overall in the class. I think it was around average. But then when we did the spacecraft competition, we actually came out with the highest score over the whole entire class with 382 points. So coming into the qualifying competition, we actually DQ'd, some of our stuff wasn't working, and we got seeded place 58 out of 61. So that was a pretty hard letdown, coming from best in the class with some of your subsystems, and then learning, we tried to put that all together. Some of our ideas didn't click and work like they used to. So
In final competition, we learned the mistakes from the preliminary competition. That was that we firstly changed, made optimized space in that way that we could box easily, and therefore we didn't DQ. And secondly, as I told, we made different functions not depend on each other. So if one function failed, it does not make all the functions fail.
yeah,
Going into the real competition, we decided to make all our subsystems independent. So our rock collector subsystem was placed at the bottom with a drawer slider. Then at the top, we only had our flag arm, spacecraft box, and astronaut and rover arm. And then we were going to make a subsystem for clearing the tennis balls, but we decided not to.
Yeah, I will go over our mechanism. First of all, we are going to use 4 mousetraps and 2 actuators as a power source. First, one actuator in the bottom will shoot out the rock collector, and after 0.5 seconds, the second actuator will shoot out the spacecraft and the flag arms platform this way, and after 1 second, the motor in the very back side will be retract the rock collector this way.
I'm gonna explain the top to the bottom. So you have the flag placer. So with our flag holder, it comes out from the bottom to the top initially when it's released. And you have a little hole here for the flag to go into. And that will stand over the hovering part of the machine. This next place is for the astronauts and rovers. So this comes here, and as there's a rotating platform, it will actually hit here, and because of this angle, it will slide and fall off into our zone. During the actual competition, we had a problem with it sliding to other people's zone. So if we had a drill at that time, we probably would have adjusted the angle so it can fit more appropriately. But it did what it did, and we got 10th place, so I'm not complaining. All right, so if you come over right here, we have this important system. So what we did in the competition prior to this, what we were trying to do was experiment, because everybody was using alarm arm switch, which works because there's a beacon right here and there's 2 sides. So when it hits twice, when it clicks, then this will release. But every group was doing that, and sometimes this wasn't reliable because of the different heights on the track. So what we were trying to do is use an IR sensor, so when it gets 2 bleeps, so you'll have it under here, and when it gets that 2 bleeps, so when something came over it twice, then it would release, which was way more reliable, but it simply could not just fit into our machine due to the area needed to get the recognition. So we decided to go back to the long arm switch and just make it as versatile as possible so we can work with pretty much any height. And instead of putting another platform like wood or anything like that, we put a thin piece of layer of tape, which still, as if you hit right here, it still gets that action that you need. So we did that, and then of course the solenoid reacts to that, and then the balls will roll out. And that's pretty much everything with our design. The only thing that we are missing from this whole entire design is tennis balls.
The reason that we did not get first place was because all our subsystems couldn't always perform the same task. So during the competition, round 1 and round 2, our flag arm didn't flip over and like place the flag. Then round 4 and round 5, our rock collector didn't get all the rocks back. So the problem was like whatever subsystems we had, like they had a certain success rate, but they also had a pretty large failure rate as well. So everything was not repeatable. Like even with the spacecraft, one of the rounds we placed all the spacecraft in the unsafe zone and got negative 80 points.
We got 10th place in the final competition. I think that's kind of good result. However, we could have been done well if our rock collector would have been worked better.
Honestly, if I could make improvements, I would probably just test everything again and make sure all the mousetraps are securely fastened, and probably during the competition, I mean the ideal solution would be to change mousetraps during the competition so that they don't fatigue, but obviously that's too much, so just make sure all the mousetraps are new and yeah.
2, 1. Blue.
Yes! Where did our balls go?